Hey, this is Gary from 3Bug Media, and today we're going to talk about what does an SEO friendly website mean. Now, if you've gone and had a website designed or you're currently looking now, you may hear a designer tell you, oh, we're going to make your website SEO friendly. Well, that's a pretty generic statement. So what does that exactly mean? So we're going to talk about that right now. Well, SEO friendly website, all that means is they're designing a website that is going to make it easier for you to do SEO later on down the line. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing anything special with your website SEO wise where, inadvertently maybe they give the impression that by doing this, when you publish your website, it's going to show up high in the search engine rankings. That's not the way it works, and that's not what that means. All that means is we're going to design a website that is going to make it easier for you when you decide to do SEO for your business. Okay, so that's what SEO friendly means. And we're going to talk about some of the elements that make up an SEO friendly website and content management system, so you're aware of this when you're searching for a new designer for a new website, or if you're about to do a new redesign for a website. So an SEO friendly website has certain features to it. Number one, it needs to be easy to add and edit content on the site. Content is very important when it comes to SEO. It's critical when it comes to your website. So it needs to be easy for you as a business owner to be able to log in, upload blog posts, create new blog posts, make changes to service pages, make new service pages, things like that, without having to hire a developer every single time. If you're in a situation like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if you had a website, most sites were built on HTML, which didn't have a content management system. It required a developer or a coder to make changes to the site. So if you wanted to make a change to a site, you'd have to hire a developer, and then they would have to make the change for it. It was excruciating, and it's almost impossible to build content, create content like that. So thankfully, modern content management systems have it so you can easily, as an owner, without knowing any technical coding or anything like that, can easily log in, create new blog posts, create new pages for your site, things like that. So that's a prerequisite for an SEO friendly website. Number two, you need to have a friendly URL structure. Now, URL structure would be yourwebsite.com, okay? Most modern content management systems allow you to create URL friendly ones like yourwebsite.com/services, as opposed to something like yourwebsite.com/SPJW ? And a whole bunch of numbers and letters after that. If you have an e-commerce site hosted by like .NET environment or something like that, you probably see some really wonky URLs, and they're kind of difficult to make SEO friendly. So if you're looking for a website, make sure you can set your own custom URL structure. That makes it easier for SEO, and it makes it easier for your customers to know what pages they're looking at. Number three, custom title tags and meta descriptions. Now, the title of your web page is very important. It plays a big role in SEO. It makes it very easy for the search engines to understand what your page is all about. And meta descriptions is basically what you see in the search engine results. So if you search, you'll see a whole bunch of lists of websites and web pages. Underneath it, you'll see a 1 or 2 line text description of that page. That's your meta description. So being able to add custom title tags and meta descriptions are very important with SEO. And if you're using something like WordPress, you can even go a step further and create custom title tags for your web page, and also create custom title tags for the search engines. So maybe your web page might be Joe's Plumbing as the title of the page, but for SEO for the search engines, it might be Joe's Plumbing, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on there. But you may not want that on your actual page, so you can actually separate it on there. So that's something cool you can do as far as SEO. So you want to be able to customize some of these features for every page that you publish. And lastly, a CMS that allows expanded capabilities. So you want a content management system where you can add on to it and you can build on it without it becoming excruciating or super expensive for you to develop on there. And things might be, maybe you want to add an SEO plugin that scans your content and gives you suggestions, like you can in WordPress, gives you suggestions on improving the content of your page based on the search term that you're trying to rank it for. Or you may want to do something marketing wise, like add a pop-up banner, like an email opt-in slide in or something like that to your site, a content management system like WordPress makes it super easy with the plugin, but if you're using something different or using a custom HTML site, it's very, very difficult to implement and can be very costly and time consuming to do. So these are some of the things that make up an SEO friendly website. Now, like I said, SEO friendly by itself does not mean higher rankings. So just because somebody, a designer says it's going to be SEO friendly, do not take that as my website's going to rank higher in the search engines because I bought an SEO friendly website. The only thing that means is it's set up so when you're ready to do SEO, you'll be able to do it a lot easier and faster and less costly than if it was, built on an HTML site or just wasn't structured properly. So hopefully the designer understands something about SEO, and when they're designing their site, they're going to design with all these things in mind to make it easy for you as a business owner to be able to make changes, or if you hire a marketer or something like that, to be able to go in and make these changes without constantly needing a developer to make custom changes to your website. So you still need to do SEO even with an SEO friendly website. That's the point. Okay. Now, when it comes to CMSs, the vast majority of small businesses highly recommend you use WordPress for you as your content management system. And the reason is, number one, it's super popular. There's millions of people in the WordPress community. There's thousands and thousands of WordPress developers worldwide. You can hire people from $8 an hour to $200 an hour, depending on what you're looking for, but there's no shortage of developers on there. So you can get anything you can imagine done on your WordPress site. There's so many people that can do it. So unless you have a really unique situation where maybe you have a custom backend database you need to tie into and WordPress doesn't work well for you, 99% of the time for small businesses, WordPress is the one you're going to use. Okay. Now there are some other CMSs out there like Wix. You probably hear a lot. Sites like that, these kind of visual drag and drop meant for the business owner to build their own website. Those are cool, and they're great if you're just building a small site and you don't want to be bothered with too much technical stuff and you're not going to invest too much in your website. Those are great to use because they're really easy to build websites with. But they do have some, although they do have some SEO capabilities built into it, they are limiting. And if you're going to get serious about SEO and you're really going to make that your main marketing channel online to draw people in organically to your website, you'll quickly find that there are serious limitations on what you can do with these kind of do-it-yourself website builders like Wix on there. So they're great to start out with, they're great for small sites, but if you're serious about SEO, you'll quickly find your limitations, and most likely if you're going to continue building your SEO optimization and your rankings, you're going to have to move off to a different platform like WordPress, which is slightly more complicated, still very user friendly, but it's you can scale it indefinitely, and it's pretty much anything you can think of to do with the website you can do on it. So that's why we recommend WordPress. If you're getting into e-commerce, I would recommend Shopify for small businesses. If you're starting out, Shopify is what's called a hosted platform. And that means is they host it for you on their servers, they maintain it, they troubleshoot it. You don't have to worry about any of those technical issues. You can concentrate on building your store, marketing, sales, customer service, things like that. So that's what I recommend. Magento is what's called a self-hosted platform. So you're hosting it yourself on your own server. It's also very extensible, so you can build a lot of things on it, but it's a lot more technical, and you'll most likely need a developer on your team in order to use it properly on there. So like I said, most people will probably use Shopify because it's a lot more user friendly. So one thing I want to note, especially if you're watching this and you're in the process of looking for somebody to build a new website for you, you're looking for a web designer, things like that, never ever use a custom CMS solution. It's a lock-in feature and you'll regret it later on down the line. And what I mean by that is, if you meet a designer and you're asking about what kind of content management system they're going to use, and they say, oh no, we use our own custom one on there. It's way better than WordPress or Shopify or anything like that. We have our own system that we use. We built it from the ground up, blah, 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 blah. Run for the hills on there. Absolute BS. Do not do it. That is called a lock-in feature. And what's going to happen with that, if you go with their custom CMS, They're the only ones who know how to use it. They're the only ones that know how to troubleshoot it. So you will be locked in with one developer on that, and they have full control over you, your website, and your pocketbook. So they can charge you what they want. They can get to you 2 weeks later if they want, because you have no other option to go to another developer, because it is their own custom CMS, and another developer may not be able to come in and make any changes to it. So be aware of that as a lock-in feature. And if they tell you, well, it's way better than WordPress or whatever, it's BS, because WordPress has been in development for 20 years. It's gone through thousands of iterations, improvements. There's huge communities to it. You know, a small web design shop that built their own custom CMS couldn't even come close to the power and the, you know, and the options that are available in a mainstream content management system like WordPress. Plus, if you ever want to leave that designer or developer and go somewhere else, you can pick from tens of thousands of different developers on there. They're everywhere. Okay, so never use a custom CMS. That should be a serious red flag. If you're looking for a website and they offer you a custom CMS, say, nope, I'm looking for a WordPress site. And if you can't do that, I'm going to go somewhere else. Okay, so that is what an SEO friendly website means. Hopefully that explains a little bit more, and hopefully it'll give you a better idea when you're searching for a web designer for your new website. Okay, if you have any more questions, you can go to 3bugmedia.com, learn a little bit more about online marketing, and that's about it. So thank you very much, and have a good day.